Welcome to this edition of Northwest Real Estate Forum. I'm your host, Patricia Wangsness. Our mission is to bring you experts and relevant topics that will help you understand the art, science, and timing of real estate, because after all, your home is your biggest asset. Welcome to part 2 of our conversation with Kimberly Brangwin of Coldwell Bain. Welcome back, Kimberly.
Thanks.
So we had our first conversation about what the seller needs to know, and you really did give us the highlights, and we could go into a huge in-depth conversation. But let's talk about the other side. I have a buyer, and this is the perfect property, and it's so great, and it's priced so right, and I'm ready to go. But you just told me that there's a multiple offer situation. What is it, the conversation that I need to have with my buyers prior to getting into that?
I think the first thing you have to always think about is, what is the seller really looking for? They're looking for a sure thing. So the more that you can make your offer a sure thing, the stronger it's going to be. And by sure thing, I mean that you have demonstrated you have the ability to bring the money. It's all cash, or you are pre-approved, and that means they've looked at your credit, they've verified your job, they've verified your money. That you have had it inspected. Clearly, a seller would be counseled against taking an offer when there's multiple that was still subject to inspection, where they may take the offer and then it's going to fall apart in a week.
So in that particular situation, a pre-inspection might be advised.
Yes. I mean, by that, just inspected before you have an offer that's signed around. I know people who are in a very busy, in a neighborhood, and they might negotiate with an inspector to give a multiple discount rate if they're going to potentially maybe have to do inspections on more than one property. However, the inspection, and that means a sewer scope also, which can add some money, but it's an area that sellers are unlikely to know much about, but can be expensive if they need repair. So how can you increase your down payment? Offers where there's 20% down are easier to get funding on than ones with a minimum down payment. Look at your earnest money. There are protections in there to protect the buyer's earnest money if the transaction doesn't close, but it does make a strong statement. So each of those areas, and of course, the number of days, how quickly can you close? You have to be realistic. If you're getting a loan, you might want to close in 2 weeks, but the bank's not going to do it.
Not in these days.
So you have to be really aware of what's out there and have conversations with your other participants, the lender, inspectors, to know what can be done. But you go in with a clean, strong offer that says to the seller, if you accept my number, my price, I will perform. Because that's what the seller wants most of all, a sure thing.
And the one thing that I've done in counseling our clients when we're in a multiple offer situation is pay the price, the highest price that you want to pay. You can't pay more than you can pay. Sometimes there's so much emotion and there's a tendency to sort of want to go over. But how best do you keep that under control? And
I think that's where your agent is, or your broker, is so key, because you need to know both objectively the value, what have other sales demonstrated in the neighborhood it should be worth, and what's it worth to you. Someone who's going in and they're going to live there for 15 years with their family, they may pay a little bit more, knowing that in the long run they're going to get it back. But someone else may think, oh no, I need to be more cautious. And as their broker, you want to support them in that, because in a bidding situation, sometimes the emotions can take over, and they still need to retain that good sense, because paying too much for them, even though someone else is willing to pay it, they should walk away.
Yeah, they regret. Well, multiple offer situations do happen. They are not for everyone, but I think your information has been very helpful in trying to get people the balance that they need to know about when it happens. Thank you so much, Kimberly.
You're welcome.
Thanks for watching this edition of Northwest Real Estate Forum. Remember, whether you're buying, selling, or sitting on the sidelines, keep watching for important information on topics that are impacting your biggest asset, your home. To learn more about this and other shows, please visit us at northwestrealestateforum.com or check us out on Facebook. While you're there, be sure to order your free copy of Seattle's Best Places. I know you're going to find something new and fun to do. I'm your host, Patricia Wangsness. See you next time.